Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Here we are in a different surrounding.
Different surroundings. Welcome to our Facebook Live. It's Roy and Val, that we're back again. And this time, though, we wanted to show you guys some of our classrooms. In fact, probably, I think all of our classrooms we're going to try to do.
We have four.
We have 4 different classrooms.
How do you,
right?
do you think?
Yeah, that's what I think, right?
Okay.
So I mean,
we're counting the kiln room as one.
No, I'm calling the glass blowing room as one.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So that's 4. So this is our what we call classroom A. Yeah, we're going to take you through all the rooms, right? Just so you guys can see the space that we have. We offer a wide variety of classes in practically every glass discipline you can think of: stained glass, mosaics, fusing, flame working, glass blowing, right? We do it all. So we just wanted to show you like some of the facilities that we have. This is our classroom A, we call it, right? So this is where we mainly do fusing in this room. We have done other classes when we're booked here. We often have several classes going on especially during the weekends. You know, most of our customers don't live close by. A lot of people travel sometimes from some pretty far distances to come see us and take a class, which we appreciate. And so most of our classes are on weekends to try to make it, you know, a little more accommodating for people. But we do probably around 30 classes a month, right? I mean, it's a bunch. Yeah, I mean, like I said, once you consider all the different classes that we offer, and as I mentioned before, this is mainly our fusing room, and you can see we can take about 10 people in this room. I intentionally left some of the little small kilns on because I know a lot of the classes that we do here, you know, we try to be as hands-on as we can. And then sometimes with fusing, and you know, it's not always that easy to be hands-on with fusing, but we have these small little 8-inch even heat kilns that we let the students use, and we have enough for every student to sort of have their own, right? And kind of be have access to it.
Yep, and then we have the other kilns in the other rooms, so people construct their things in here, and then we carry them next door, which you'll see here in a minute. But
yeah, so you know, we again try to have it all set up so if you are traveling to come see us, you don't have to bring your own tools. I mean, we have all the glass cutting tools here that you would need, and every classroom has its own set of tools. So
we're pretty well equipped with glass too. So.
Yeah, we've got if you've ever caught our we've done a video before Facebook where we walked around the glass room and tried to show you guys all the glass that we have. So we have a little bit of glass, and so we thought we'd show you some of the classrooms.
So we're going to walk through and go into the kiln room.
So we have some stuff kind of laid out. These are some students' work. Most of the stuff is actually from classes that we've taught. A variety of different things, right? You can see a lot of seasonal stuff. Yep, some things not fired but ready to go in the kilns. You'll probably see also once we get into the kiln room here, we've got a lot of. Sorry, we're new at this kind of production, so we don't know what we're doing.
We're not used to walking around.
We're used to standing in one spot and just talking,
I'm used
right?
to sitting.
So now we have. So this is the kiln room.
Why we call it that? We've got kilns in here.
Yeah, there's a few of them. You can notice all the real big kilns that we have. So we have the capability of firing several things. In fact, I can tell you, normally the kilns are running all the time, and they probably should be running, right? I think you and I both have things that we're supposed to be firing in the kilns, but we didn't turn them on today because we thought you guys might want to see what's going on with them, and what's in them, and the space that we have. You know, we have it currently in the room. We have like 3 different manufacturers that might surprise you, but we do sell all the kilns that you see that in here, and we're always trying to squeeze more. I'm always trying to squeeze more in this room, but I think we finally maxed out electrical wise. I don't think I talked to our electrician, and he said I couldn't put another kiln in here, but well, we'll see. Maybe I'm gonna try. We're gonna find some more electricity. But again, we've got all these nice big kilns, so lots of space. You know, Val teaches like a 3-day fusing class where you can imagine like over the course of 3 days the amount of work that you can do in the class.
We use the kilns all the time.
Oh my gosh,
so
right?
Too, yeah, we do. We don't. People have asked us about maybe having a program like we've tried in the past about, you know, they come and make something and then we just fire it for them, or they use our kilns, and ours are so busy that we really can't afford to do that anymore. So I guess you just have to buy one.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have any kind of rental program, or we don't have an open studio, as Val hinted at or talked about. We tried that in the past, but you know, we just, man, I mean, we use the kilns, they're running, like I said, practically 24 hours a day, these kilns are going. Yeah. So, and as soon as we're done with this Facebook Live, I know that we'll be turning some on, and I got to load a couple. I got to load a few over here. So I think we're going to probably head on over to the, let's go to the other classroom.
See, this is kind of cool too about our setup here. Our classrooms are connected. So the kiln room is in the middle of the fusing classroom and the flame working classroom. So it really does make it nice. Kind of keeps them a little more quiet and not out in the, you know, where all the activity is usually. So because
sometimes we even do fusing in your classroom, right? When we get a little too booked, you know, like we have too many classes running. Sometimes we'll have 2 fusing classes going at the same time, but we can still, as Val pointed out, share this space, which is pretty nice. But I think we're going to head on over and show you guys the flame working room. So
hello there.
There's Terrell. We're probably going to come
over here.
All right. Good. Sweet. Good. Well, now
here
we're
in the flame working
room,
classroom.
Right? Yeah, I'll let you talk about this room. Yeah, Val is, if you're not familiar, does like all of our flame working classes, actually. So she's the flame working guru here at Delphi.
So we've just put some of the torches out on the table. Sometimes we, often we use these bigger torches. And then also we do, we'll often teach like beginning bead classes and stuff on a little bit more user-friendly setup that makes it nice to start at home. We have annealers to anneal. They're called bead annealers, and so they have little trap doors almost so that you can put your beads or your little flame work pieces in there. So so we do beads. We do blown ornaments in here too. They're kind of everywhere. And what else do? We do a borosilicate class, which is kind of a sculpture class to start out as a beginning. It's called Intro to Boro. And, you know, this is it. So you can look around and see all the things and the things on mandrels, the beads on mandrels, and the sculptures they're everywhere, right? It's just everywhere.
Like your white moose.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, again, you know, Val and I can't really see what's going on exactly, so I don't know how well you see our hood. But I mean, that's what makes this room so special, is this giant hood that's above the table, because when the gas burns, that does kind of leave sometimes a little residue, right? I mean, so we have to remove that from the room, right? And then circulate fresh air back in. And that's what this giant hood over the table does. So a very safe space. I know you guys see the oxygen tanks, and what you can't see are the propane tanks that are underneath the tables. But pretty safe and well, you know, accommodating.
Fire extinguishers on both ends of the rooms is a must.
More fire extinguishers, right? Than every classroom, right? Has got at least one. Some have 2. So
So this is the flame working one. So if you want to take any kind of flame working class, this is probably where we'd be, because we as fusing and even mosaics and sometimes stained glass, if we're got more than one stained glass going on at a time, we'll even move them into here, you know, if we need to. But pretty much I don't go anywhere with the flame working. I'm kind of stuck to this situation in here. So if you're going to take a flame working class, this will be where it is. So
and with Val. So you want to head out to the glass blowing area then?
That way? Okay.
Sure. We have to look for direction from people, right? Jarell is telling us where to go. So how this little space we kind of carved out it's a little, is it too loud? You can hear okay? Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the roar of the furnace back there. So the furnace runs 24 hours a day. We're running off natural gas, so it's got a nice little flame kind of in there shooting around. But this is a space that we do glass blowing, and we have a setup that we can do. We have 2 different workbenches, so we can work with 2 people at the same time. We do something here at Delphi that we find a little unique with our glass blowing, is we work with people one-on-one. And so we're right next to them the entire time that they're working it, and we let people do as much of the process or as little of the process as they feel comfortable. I actually have made a whole ornament for somebody one time, and she just wanted to watch me make it, which was totally fine.
Well,
and then
nice,
her husband wanted to do every little step, and that was okay too. So
because it can be a little intimidating.
It can
sometimes.
Be, yeah.
So it's not like we'll force you to do anything you don't want to do, right?
No, not here, anyways. And then we also do some sandblasting out here. Live on that before, some sandblasting.
It's been a while from that.
Yeah, it's been a while, but you can always message us here on Facebook or on Instagram, and you can always email us at facebook@delphiglass.com if you have questions. How'd I do?
That was good.
That's
that was really good.
The best I've ever remembered that. Was it? I must have left something out, didn't I? No.
I don't know.
So we do, our class schedule, if you're not familiar, is on our website. So it's delphiglass.com/classes, or you'll see it at the top when you go in. And one of the last things that right next to our logo, it'll say classes, and you can click on that. And it's month by month. We are always, I like to say it's an active class schedule. And so we add classes all the time. So they're not, just because we have things up in December doesn't mean that we won't add something. When things fill up, we add something. We try to always be very accommodating. We're not 6 months out. We're usually 2 or 3 months out with our class schedule. So feel free to reach out to us if you have questions about classes. But the other thing we also do is a lot of private classes. Yes, I was working there. Don't worry.
I was going to get there. I knew, but I wasn't sure.
We do a lot of private classes. I can tell you that I do probably like 10 a month, I think, private classes.
Yeah.
It's crazy when I look at it. Me and the other instructors here too, right? We have other instructors. And we're just trying to, accommodate either people's schedules. So maybe a Saturday or Sunday doesn't work for you, or maybe it's you want something more just hands-on, one-on-one teaching,
or more specific than
what we offer in a class. Or I'll tell you, lately we do a lot of groups, right? You want to spend some time with your family and do something fun. Taking a class with us, we think it's a great way. We've done team building things with businesses. In fact, we got probably 2 or 3 of those in December alone, right? Doing some team building classes. So you can reach out to us. There, you can even email us too, classes@delphiglass.com. It's a great way to get a hold of us about that. But that's also on our website, a spot where you can reach out to us about booking a private class. This is we call this one Studio One for some reason, the original classroom here at Delphi. And this is where we mainly do stained glass, which includes, copper foil techniques or doing lead cane or anything related to that. But we also do mosaics in this room too. This is also kind of the main mosaics room. But mosaics does get moved around, like as I mentioned earlier, a lot of times just depending on what we're doing, what else we have going on in the various classrooms. This is also where, I think it's in the background, you can see the Wazers, which we've done, I think, a Facebook Live about the Wazers before. They should be running, but I didn't turn them on because they're kind of noisy. I knew that we would, hopefully you guys would want to hear us. So.
Yeah. But this is for the room that has all the grinders and the band saws, and so it is the room that we kind of fall back on when we do need to grind something or we do need to use a bandsaw or something. We don't typically have them anywhere else, right? So they're in this room. I mean, there's a couple out in there.
There's a couple of grinders in the kiln room. I don't know if you saw them in the background, but there was a couple of grinders and there's a saw in there too.
Most of them are in here,
most of most of the real tools are in here. You can see that, again, if you looked at a lot of our space, we like to consider ourselves working studios, right? There's always, trust me, there's always something going on. So the tables are rarely ever totally clean because either we're just finishing up, anyway, we're just finishing up a class, or we're trying to get ready for another class, and so we just have some, some some things out on the table, just to show some of the things that we've worked on, or things that come from classes. Most of them are class stuff, I think, but there's some stuff on the end table down there. I think
right, we got our light box, and the cabinets are filled with, flux, and so that's it. This is, if you're going to take a stained glass class, this is probably where you'll be.
Yeah, and we have, again, if you're not familiar with the types of classes we have, especially stained glass, we have some that again, they vary. They vary in length. If you want something a little more intense, that's like all day long, or if you want just to get a brief kind of introduction to stained glass, we have some short ones that are only about 3 hours long, 2.5, 3 hours long, just to kind of give you a taste of it. And again, as I sort of was mentioning before, again, we really try to do as much hands-on as we can, I think, in classes. So you're going to, see everything we've been talking about, the processes from start to end. You're going to participate in them, right? Have your hands on everything.
You're going to make stuff.
Yeah, you're definitely going to make something. So might not always go home with it right that day, but things in the kiln and glass blowing have to.
But they will go home
flame
with
working,
it,
they have to go. Eventually, you'll go home with it, right? So.
Everybody usually makes something to take. And
which also reminds me too. So again, if you're traveling to come see us, we ship people's projects all the time, right? So if you're wondering, like, well, if I make something, how am I going to get it home if I'm leaving, right? we're happy to ship it, right? One thing Delphi does, I think pretty good at is
Oh,
we
yeah.
ship glass like all over the place. So.
And exactly. And I also feel like this time of year, we know the weather's going to get bad, and you just never know quite when.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they don't want to lose their money if we get a snowstorm or something. That's not been an issue, I mean, believe us, we do not want you to venture out in some kind of bad weather and risk your life to get here because you're afraid you won't get a refund. I mean,
Oh, yeah, we get it.
We're Michiganders. We know we've got to sometimes cancel and reschedule. And so, we'll give you your money back and you can come back when the weather gets better. But I sometimes think that kind of stops people. It might me too.
Yeah, I mean, we are in Michigan. And
I think, I don't want to risk it. And I certainly don't, want to white knuckle it all the way, here. And so.
So, life happens, right? We're all busy, so if things happen and you've signed up for a class, can't make it, just let us know. We're pretty accommodating. We can always put you in another one, or Val said we can refund you.
Okay.
So was that good? Well, again, if you guys got any questions or if you have ideas for other things, I think we're going to be back in a couple of weeks, and I think we have an idea for that one.
We do have an idea.
So, but we're always looking, trying to.
Yes, and it's exciting.
Yeah. Is it a good one?
It's a good one.
Boy, I don't even know.
You do too.
I think only Val knows.
You know.
Okay. Maybe I do know. So Noah, we didn't let Noah or Jarrell know, so they don't know. It'd be a surprise for them. Well, thanks for joining us this week, and
we'll
see you guys
in a couple weeks.
In a couple weeks.
Thanks.